What's going on, everybody? So, week two's in the books. Week three is upon us. Tonight is the Titans versus the Jaguars. What a great Thursday night game. Um, First off, even though I said please comment who you should start or sit or like matchup, like should I start Cooper Kupp, should I start Brandon Cooks, whatever. People still call me literally right after the video is posted, texting me. I think only like 2 or 3 people posted, and like just post in the comments, please. It will help me so much, so much. Um, but anyways, we're gonna do it a little differently today. Instead of start 'em, sit 'em, because I don't want you sitting like Philip Lindsay if you have someone like, I don't know, like Carlos Hyde, I guess. Like, because obviously Philip Lindsay's gonna do better. So I'm gonna do my rankings, and I'm gonna do like kind of like a sleeper, like guys who I think can stand out this week. That's not my top 20. But still, put in the comments who you think you should ask me, like who I think should start out of the two guys you give me or whatever. And I'll be more than glad to help. Yeah, so we're just gonna get into that portion of it. We'll start with the quarterbacks. Okay, so with the quarterbacks, I'm not gonna go through every single one because 1 through 20 is a lot. But I mean, number one being Dak Prescott. He's going against the Dolphins. Everyone has blown out the Dolphins this year. They just lost Minka Fitzpatrick, so I have Lamar before Pat Mahomes because I think the Ravens defense is a lot better, obviously, and Lamar just runs more. But Mahomes is like I mean, I might be being a little biased, but either one's gonna go off. They're both gonna go off. I feel like it's gonna be a high scoring game. I'm gonna go to Josh Allen. Josh Allen versus the Bengals. The Bengals defense is terrible. I just feel good about it. He runs like Lamar, and he has a cannon as well. So, Kyler Murray versus the Panthers. That could be a blowout. I honestly hope they start running the ball more, but I still think Kyler Murray can get like 300 yards. So, especially without Cam, even though with Cam, the Cardinals still should win, honestly. Here's Winston versus the Giants. It's the Giants. Their defense is really bad. I really hope Jameis steps up. He's got 2 great receivers, a great tight end, and if the running game keeps going, then it should help. None of the other ones are like really great. I don't know. The ones I don't really feel like great about is Jimmy Garoppolo versus the Steelers, just because they have Minka. But Jimmy Garoppolo did look good last week, so who knows? Guys that might surprise.
Wow. Right? Yeah, great. Amazing.
It's kind of clever, no? Matt Stafford versus the Eagles. The Eagles lost a lot of guys last week, offense and defense, so the Lions aren't as bad as everyone thought. And Matt Stafford has a lot of weapons. Jacoby Brissett versus the Falcons. Jacoby Brissett's just been solid, like 250 yards and a touchdown. So I think you can get a solid like 14 to 18 maybe. And if you don't have a quarterback that you feel good about, I feel like Jacoby can be somebody you pick up. Daniel Jones versus the Bucks. Bucks defense is actually a lot better than last year. They're still not great, but I'm just curious about Daniel Jones. I mean, he's looked really good. Looked really good in preseason. So, who knows? I'm not saying go pick him up, I guess, but I feel like he might surprise, and he could be like a waiver wire ad. Running backs. The top running backs in week 3. Number 1, Zeke. Solely because of the Dolphins. They suck. Sorry, Dolphins fans. Christian McCaffrey versus the Cardinals. I think he will bounce back. They're going to force feed him without Cam. I bet you he gets a lot of receptions as well. Saquon versus the Bucks. That's a given. Eckler should be a must start until Melvin gets back. And then Austin is more like a flex play maybe. David Johnson versus the Panthers. David Johnson's last week was not very good. I just hope he gets in the end zone. I hope they start feeding the ball more. They say they want to, so I skipped Kamara. Alvin Kamara, people are freaking out about him. I think everybody needs to relax. Maybe I'm just saying that because he's on my team, but Teddy Bridgewater is not a bad quarterback. Think of the days when he had Adrian Peterson and Teddy was obviously playing for the Vikings. Like Adrian Peterson was still putting up really good numbers. So I don't know. I think everyone needs to just relax. Kamara's one of the best running backs in the league. He's not just going to stop. If you're freaking out because last week he had like 7 points, I'm assuming they had a completely different game plan for Drew Brees. And once he got hurt, Teddy came in and like they probably didn't know what the hell to do. So they're going to run different plays for Teddy, even though he's kind of similar to Drew Brees, where he just sits in the pocket and throws. I think everyone needs to relax and like don't trade him. Don't trade Kamara. He's still going to be a top 5 running back. Chris Carson versus Saints. Chris Carson fumbled twice. One of them wasn't his fault. I don't know how that guy came off the edge so fast, but he did. And he was untouched, and Chris Carson had no chance, no time to even grab the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands. So Todd Gurley versus the Browns. Todd Gurley's been solid. It's just scary that he's splitting literally drives with Malcolm Brown. So I still think Todd Gurley's a must start every week. He's at 11 because it's crazy because last year he'd probably be top 3. So Michelle versus the Jets. I feel like they're gonna run a whole lot. And if CJ Mosley's back, that might hurt them a little bit. But I still think they're going to try to run the ball. Mark Ingram versus the Chiefs. I do think it's going to be like a passing kind of game. But if Mark Ingram can get in the end zone, that's kind of what I'm banking on, him being in the top 20. But they're still going to try to run the ball. That's kind of what the Ravens do anyways. James Conner versus the Niners. Everyone's freaking out about James Conner as well. I still think he's a 12-plus point, like a week guy. He's not going to do like what he did last year, I don't think. But I do think like everyone just like if he's your number 1 back, then you might want to try to sell him high right now. Try to get like maybe someone like Joe Mixon who's struggling real bad, who I think is gonna have a better game. He's starting to feel healthy. Maybe like if somebody has Joe Mixon and Miles Sanders. I don't know. Try to trade them for James Conner. But that's about it. Like I would sell high if you're worrying about it. Joe Mixon, since I skipped him, sorry. I really do think Joe Mixon's he's averaging like 1.6 yards or something terrible this year. I do feel good about Joe Mixon, but I don't know. It was hard to put him on the top 20, and it was hard to not put him because he's Joe Mixon. He's so nice. David Montgomery had a touchdown last week, kind of saved his week. I still think they're just going to keep trying to feed him the ball and just work him into the offense. Kerryon Johnson did drop C.J. Anderson, which helps Kerryon in a big way. Except for Ty Johnson, the backup is kind of nice. And then Derrick Henry versus the Jaguars tonight. I think they're just going to be running. Derrick Henry might be their only touchdown. So I think the score is literally going to be like 10-7. 10-6. It's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be worse than the Packers and Bears game at the beginning of the season. Guys that might surprise: Raheem Mostert must start. Let's call him that. Raheem must start. Must start in the flex. He's like the receiving back, so I would start him for sure versus Steelers. Miles Sanders, I really am just hoping he just finally gets it going. And with everyone being hurt on that team, I really want them to start running the ball more. They kind of have to. So Peyton Barber versus the Giants. Literally only here because it's the Giants, and he looked all right last week, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did good. Top wide receivers in week 3. I got it's like my first three ones are just all Dolphins. Amari Cooper versus the Dolphins, self-explanatory. Then you got Julio, Hopkins, Adams, Keenan, Chris Godwin versus the Giants. He's kind of been a monster this year. Michael Thomas versus Seahawks. I still think Michael Thomas gets like 7 receptions. He's all they have. And I think it honestly helps that Drew Brees isn't in the offense because Drew Brees likes to spread the ball around. And I think Teddy Bridgewater is just going to hit his number 1 target as much as he can. So he's going to rely on Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara. Adam Thielen, Sammy Watkins versus the Ravens. I honestly, if you look to the right, I have guys that might surprise. Mecole Hardman and Demarcus Robinson. It's hard to predict who actually goes off, but they're all 3 going to get 10-plus points. It's just going to happen. Even versus a good defense like the Ravens, I would say Sammy is the more reliable choice since he is the number 1 receiver. But Demarcus Robinson didn't go off last week, so who knows? I still think they all get at least 10, which isn't bad. Calvin Ridley's been super nasty. He's just not dropping the ball anymore. Antonio Brown versus the Jets, so I'm pretty sure he's playing. So if he's playing, you better play him. Cooper Kupp versus the Browns, same thing goes. Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods. They all pretty much do good in fantasy. Like last week, Robert Woods had a bad week, which sucks. But the other two did really well. Usually they all do pretty solid. Then we got Juju Smith-Schuster, which Juju I feel like is affected most by the quarterbacks. He's not doing insanely well as everyone thought he would. I thought he was going to be fantasy MVP, so that kind of sucks. I don't really know Mason Rudolph and how well he's going to be in this offense. I do like Mason Rudolph, but obviously Big Ben is going to be better. OBJ versus the Rams. I feel like I just had to put OBJ up here because he's going to get numbers, but against the Rams is kind of sus. But like, I don't know, it's OBJ at the same time, and he's been doing pretty solid as long as he could stay healthy. Fitzgerald versus the Panthers. Fitz being in the slot, like, I just feel like he's going to dominate. John Brown has been one of the big surprises. And versus the Bengals, I just feel like he's a must-start again. He's getting 7 receptions each game, so why not start him? That's an automatic 7 points, so if you're in PPR. Guys that might surprise, I talked about a couple. Allen Robinson versus the Redskins. Josh Norman's not good anymore. He's washed. Christian Kirk versus the Panthers. I just feel like it's going to be a lopsided game. I'm going to the game, so I'm hoping it's a lopsided game because the last year's game when I went to the Lions was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Mike Evans versus the Giants. I really, really do feel like Mike Evans this is going to be his week. And I know I said it last week and he got like 11 points or whatever, but I just feel like it's the Giants. Their defense is not good, so come on, Mike. Come on, Jameis. Emmanuel Sanders versus the Packers. I don't like the matchup. Like, the Packers are a really good defense, but Emmanuel Sanders has just been killing it. So, I talked about the other guys. Now we're going to go into tight ends. Top tight ends in week 3. Only did 10. There's not a whole lot of good tight ends out there. So, Mark Andrews versus the Chiefs. You could have literally put Mark or Travis. It's hit or miss. Zach Ertz can actually be the guy that's number 1, really. But, just because he's the only guy there. I could have put him number 1. I just feel good about. I just feel like the Chiefs-Ravens game is going to be the game of the week, and it's just going to be a shootout almost. I'm thinking it's like 35-28, which isn't a shootout, but that's a lot of opportunities for Mark and Travis to score. So, and I think the Chiefs win, sadly. But Evan Ingram versus the Bucks. I honestly love that Daniel Jones is starting. It's better than Eli throwing to Ingram. So. Darren Waller versus Vikings. He's been a solid option. I think TJ Hawkinson or Hawkinson. Is it Hawkinson? Why did I put Hawkinson? It's TJ Hawkinson. Versus the Eagles is a very good option. So sorry, I just got an update on my phone. Miami claims Taco Charlton. Poor Taco. Damn. Austin Hooper's actually been really solid this year, so I feel like he's just sure hands. Greg Olsen. So Cardinals have given up the most fantasy points to a tight end, most yards. Each game they played in the 2 weeks, they've given up 100 plus yards. So I know it's a backup quarterback probably that's going to be throwing to Greg, but it's probably going to be a safety valve. I just feel like if he's a free agent in your league, go pick him up. He's be a good pickup. So guys, that might surprise. Will Dissly versus Saints. I kind of been talking about Will Dissly. He's kind of got forgotten since he got hurt. But I think he's just going to be consistent. He's going to be a touchdown-dependent tight end. But, I mean, there's not a whole lot of good tight ends out there. O.J. Howard versus the Giants. I think this is the game where O.J. Howard finally give the ball to O.J. So, it's versus the Giants. Like I've been saying, the Giants are not a very good team. So, I don't really talk about defenses. But if, the Cowboys are in the free agency, go pick the Cowboys up. Josh Rosen's starting now. I don't even know if that's worse. That might be worse than Fitzpatrick. The only thing that it might be not good for the Cowboys is Rosen isn't the type of guy that's going to take deep shots, and Fitzpatrick just doesn't give two fucks. Like he just throws it up. So I still think the Cowboys are going to get like 20 points. I mean, the Patriots got like 35 and won a bunch of people their league. So that's pretty much it. The kickers, not a big fan of like having kickers in the league. I kind of want to take them out. Maybe the Mauer guy that plays for the Cowboys. But yeah, so if you do have any questions for me, just put it in the comments. I know I didn't get 1 through 20. Some of your guys might not be on there, obviously, but that's not to say that they're not startable. So if you just ask me, if you do care, take my opinion into consideration when you're setting your lineups, just ask me in the comments. Please don't call me. Don't text me about it unless it's like game day and you're like, Coda, I watched your video, bro, and I'm just torn between the two. Like I get it, but like if you're watching the video and I make you like change your mind on like say Juju Smith, like you weren't gonna start him or you have something better, like you're in a stacked league, then like just hit me up in the comments and be like, should I start Juju or should I start Mike Evans? Then I'll be like, damn, bro, I don't know. But that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed the video, like it. Don't thumbs down it. Whoever thumbs downed it, like why? Why would you do that? Why are you killing my dreams, bro? Or woman? Like come on. Like we don't need to do that. If I screwed you over in your fantasy league, I didn't make the choice. I'm just trying to help you. You made the decision in the end. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the video. I did get 2 new subscribers, so I appreciate it. I don't know who the hell you are, but still appreciate it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.